know. That's Quinn.
Welcome, everybody, to Around South Jersey. My special guest is one of the nicest gentlemen you'll ever meet in your life, Skip Luisi. Skip, good to see you. And this is funny. As we're going on, just tell everybody what you just said.
About who?
No, about who that was.
It looked like Lou Magazoo picture up there. I said, is that Lou Magazoo? Is he here or what? And it was you.
You know, it's funny you say that, Skip. I'm at a Democratic function several years ago. The governor's there, and he's pointing to me, Lou. And Lou's going, no, I'm over here. And I've gone to gas stations, and the guy came up to me, are you Lou Magazoo? I said, no, I should be so lucky. I said, no, I'm not Lou Magazoo.
Yeah, well.
But I'll tell you, he did a good job for the time he was there. I enjoyed working with him for the brief period of time that I was in the county government. But let's start with you from the inception of where you went to high school, what you did, and then we'll get into the exciting news that makes action news tonight.
The action news? Yeah, okay, forgettable news.
The surrogate news.
Surrogate news.
Yeah.
I was born in South Philadelphia.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep, and my twin sister and we came to Violin. We were only a couple months old.
So you never introduced me to your sister. She
never met my
beautiful woman.
I have two sisters, Carmela. She was a DePalato.
Okay.
And my sister Virginia, it's my twin sister. And then we moved to Violin. And of course, when we came to Violin, we were first on Cherry Street. That's where my father was born and raised with his brothers and sisters. And then later we moved to Elmer Street, and then finally Park Avenue.
Moving on up.
Right, moving on up. And my neighbor was my cousin Joe Luisi and his son Paulie. And I was there for all my life, okay? But in my older years, later on, around when I was 10 or 11, 12 years old, after I went to Sacred Heart High School from kindergarten all the way through high school, and my father used to have me go back to Cherry Street to my grandfather's house.
I see.
And he used to tell me, because the convent was right there, because I was always walking the nuns home, because that was my detention. And then I went to Cumberland County College, and then later I did a short stint in the Army and the New Jersey National Guard.
Oh, that's super.
And I was a medic.
Oh, okay.
And then I went back to Cumberland to finish my degrees, and then I went to school at McAllister's in New York City, which was a mortuary school.
I see.
And then when I graduated in '71. I got licensed at Wainwright Funeral Home in Violin,
Sure.
And Mr. Wainwright was there at the time.
Right.
And then later on, about 6 or 7 years later, it was a split up between the Wainwrights and the Pankuses. And later on, I ended up going with Bill Pankus. I was there for almost 18 years with Bill.
He has a nice facility. Not as nice as yours, but he has a
decent
facility.
And he was a very talented funeral director, very talented man. And I ended up, after that, going with Joe DeMarco. And at first it was DeMarco's funeral home, and then later we became partners in DeMarco-Luisi. My wife Regina and I bought this property where the funeral home is now.
Wow, what a smart move.
It was. It was either us or Wawa, and the people should be happy that Wawa didn't get it.
Thank God you got it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And
did you buy that from Matt Milan?
No, Matt Milan was down the street.
Okay.
No, this was actually a cattle farm.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember his name. He owns Leeway Rain Electrical.
Lee Rain. Okay.
Electrical. But it was a cattle farm, and we bought it. We had it for several years. And then I said to Joe, he was retiring, I said, I'm going to build a funeral home. And we did.
Wow.
And it's been very good for us. One of the restrictions that the city of Violin had on it was they wanted it to fit into the area, so they didn't want it to look like a funeral home. So I said,
That's
okay,
why it looks so nice, huh?
We'll do everything we possibly can. And the big lawn and with the flowers and all the shrubbery,
beautiful.
and it's low profile, 1 story.
Yeah.
But actually it is 2. We live upstairs, but we try to keep that very low.
Right, yeah.
And our parking lot, which holds 100 spaces. I mean, we're very proud of it, and it's been very good for us, and I think it's fit into the community beautifully. Now, as I'm getting older, my son Tony's coming into the business.
Yeah, I met Tony the other day. Very nice young man.
And my daughter Melissa works for the city of Violin.
Oh, does she? What department?
License and inspections.
Oh, I love those people in that department.
Yeah,
They're
Matt
good
Rabbi. You ever hear of Matt Rabbi?
I love Matt. He's got great sense of humor.
Great guy.
He really does. Yeah.
And then my youngest son Vincent, he's now home with me. He has a 3-year-old little girl. And of course, my youngest daughter, unfortunately got killed years ago at the old funeral home.
Oh,
got hit
that's
by a
right.
car.
I do, in the parking lot. Yeah.
And of course, I lost Regina. It will be 5 years. Regina's been gone.
Passed away.
But it just seems like the whole family helps out with the business,
That's
between my
super.
sisters and my family, my immediate family, and all the Luisi family. So and I'm proud of it. And I got I have 3 licensed directors that work for me. Will Smith, who's from Millville. I have Danielle Barry, who's from Absecon. And I have Cindy Silva, who's from Vineland.
Oh, okay. Is she related to Joe? Or
No, none of them are related
Okay.
to Joe. And then my Yolanda Torres has been with me 27 years. And we also have Emily Conroy working in the office now. So we got a real good staff, real good staff. So I can go ahead on my future event.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Leading into that.
Yeah. Boy, something to Skip leading. First of all, I mean, I love your facility. I've stood in a line a long time for David or Michael Loads' viewing and everything. But it was a tribute to him and to his wife and to all the people that were there for that. It was like an hour and a half, waiting. But the good thing is I was inside the whole time. It worked out, and, you just realize when you go to an important person's viewing. I had been to Tim Shannon's the week before, and that was an hour and 20 minutes.
We handled that one.
Yes, you did. I wanted to commend you. You guys did a great job with Tim's services, and I know that Rob and the family really appreciate everything you've done for them, and it was just wonderful to have you handling that. And you handled Bobby Hutchings, who's another one that probably would have gone to Rocap Shannon.
That was a big call.
You were able to step up, and that had a lot of people, too.
A lot of people. Tim had called me before he went into the hospital, and he asked me if anything happened to him, could I handle his funeral arrange? And he pretty much wrote down everything that he wanted, so it's the way he wanted it. Robbie actually came in and did the makeup.
I hear Rob's really good at makeup.
Very
Somebody
good
had
at
mentioned
makeup.
that the other day.
And he was phenomenal the night of the viewing. He stood there all night with us.
Yeah.
He wasn't feeling good prior to and it didn't. But he did a great job. But Tim, the people that came in there to see Tim, I mean, it was just remarkable. It was a fine tribute to a fine man.
Yeah, and tell everybody, this is Tim. If you knew Tim, this wouldn't surprise you. What was at the end of the casket? Remember?
Oh, you mean the what do you call it?
Tequila.
Tequila,
Yes, yeah.
Tequila, and a lot of it.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, we went through a lot of it. The son-in-law kept bringing in bottles and chilling it and filling up those little plastic shot glasses, and a lot of guys drank. And some went back 2 or 3 times. We had that
They were
golfing
Tim's
team.
real
of his.
friends.
Yes, that golf group of his, and they just loved him. There wasn't the day of the funeral. There wasn't a dry eye in the place, even when Mike Trout came in, Mike had tears in his eyes because he knew Tim as a kid.
Yeah.
So it was a fine tribute to a very wonderful man, and the Shannons can't be replaced.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, when in Millville, you look at a family and they exemplify all the good things that goes along with a Millville family. Their father, Bob, was the president of Millville Savings and Loan. And Skip, I remember 50 years ago, I was only in my early 20s, he gave me a loan to buy Bim's Pizzeria, which is still operating all these days.
Okay.
He said, Jim, no problem. We trust you. We know the family. Which you've had that, I'm sure, with different places as well. Sure. And the mother, of course, was involved in the business, and Tim and Rob got in, and Tina and Vicky. I mean, you just don't ask for. You couldn't find better people than the Shannon family.
They're really good people.
And I want to thank Tony Cerace. Tony and I put our heads together to do a tribute for Timmy. So Tony lined everything up because he's really organized, and I'm not. So he's got everything lined up, and we had 2 hours. 6 20-minute segments that we did with different people, from Jeff Trout to, all the different people that he affected in his life. And it was interesting. They even had excerpts of Tim was my color commentator for Millville football back in the 80s and 90s. And they had some of that. George Kachiz, our producer, pulled that out. We had highlights of Tim doing some color commentating on a football game, and he did a sports show. The kids loved him. He was like a big kid in a great way. And I remember he managed the Girls World Series when they came to town. It was funny, Skip, I was the mayor in 1999, and the Millville girls made the World Series. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to head to Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. So I had a convertible. I just threw a bag in the back and headed on down and had a great time. But while I was there, I was able to lobby the Babe Ruth World Series officials to bring it to Millville next year. So we had it here in Millville in 2000, and Timmy was there. He was one of the coaches and just did a super job. And the kids were shown the finest hospitality, kids from all over Hawaii, Texas, and everything like that.
Great.
So it was really a tribute. And and I got to tell you another story. Tim, with the Thunderbolt Club. Have you ever been in a Thunderbolt Club?
No, my son Tony plays cards there on Monday
Oh, that's
nights.
right. You did tell me that. Tony
yeah.
goes there for cards. Sometime you'll have to come as my guest to the Thunderbolt Club. What a fantastic facility. Well, Tim said, Jim, we need to build this building. So we gave him time on TV. We did a telethon. We raised over $30,000 in the telethon. Jimmy Rubart donated a roof job for 10. And Timmy got so many volunteers. One day he told me, Jim, there were so many volunteers I had to turn them away. We were pouring the floor. And then Nick Aselda, that's why he's one of my very favorite people. He came up with a Christmas fund, or whatever they called it, and was able to get the final $75,000. Although Duke Luciano helped them get the loan, and you know Duke, right?
Yeah.
From Newfield Bank. But he helped them, and then the state was able to get them the money. And it's a beautiful facility, and I'm sure Tony can tell you it really works out nicely. And that's another thing Tim did. Tim was a good guy. But speaking of good guys, this is your show.
Yeah,
we want to
really.
talk about what you've been doing, and your facility is just phenomenal.
Thank you.
You know, I didn't realize. I mean, and first of all, folks, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Skip and several other people, these programs wouldn't be possible. Skip is one of my best advertisers, and I said to him, Blue Wire did his commercial, and they do a fantastic job. So it'll be playing. You'll see what a great job they did putting this together. And you see how beautiful it is. Look behind me, the flowers and the sign, and you know that there it is over there. But it really is a fantastic facility. How many people can you hold, Skip?
You mean as far as viewings are concerned?
Yeah.
We can hold 2 at a time. We've had up to
that's
4,
right. You do on each side.
4 to 5 in one day.
Wow.
The facility itself is just perfect. I mean, as for funeral directors are concerned, it's the best thing to operate. It's the best place to operate.
Yeah. It's handicapped accessible.
Oh, it's 100%. It's all ground level. The garage holds up to 9 cars.
Wow.
So all the cars are indoors. The preparation area has special ventilation. So the directors that are embalming bodies and everything.
Okay, I see.
But outside of that, we have what I call the quiet room. They call it the dressing room. And after they're done doing what they have to do in the morgue, the loved ones are brought into the quiet area.
I see.
And they're there for it. You know, there's a radio on, music playing, quiet music, and that's where they stay. For a day or 2, whatever it takes before we can dress them and put them in a casket. But we wash them, and a lot of times with the ladies with the hair, the colors and everything, and then we bring them out into the quiet room. And that's what I really like about it. And my staff is 100% conscious of this is someone's mom or dad or child. And that's why we have the facility that we do. And the funeral home, it's growing. I'm thankful to God.
You're probably the #1 funeral home in Vineland, I would think.
I don't know.
Very close.
There's some big ones there.
I know you do. There's no question. I've been to some of those and Roan, and they're very, very nice. I'm not saying they're not, but it's like when I look at the obits. Seems like you're doing very, very well, and you're getting people from Millville too because it's coming up. And it's interesting as the times have changed. Brian Barr is the new guy to Millville. He's probably been here 25 years, but he's not a Millville person. And Christie Funeral Home was just recently sold. And now, of course, Rocap Shannon, they are going to step up in the family. Tina, and I guess, and everybody's going to keep that operating. But, the facility you have is just magnificent. And, I mean, I guess when you had, let's say, the Lodes Fellows funeral, how many people went through, do you think?
Probably about 2,000 or 3,000.
Wow.
That was a big one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That was one of the biggest ones we ever had. And, with our organization, what we're doing now is, and we're starting to do work on pre-planning.
Yes, pre-planning.
This is a big thing that people want it, and we're doing it. I'm a certified pre-planning consultant, and we're doing a lot of pre-planning. We ask people, just if they have any questions, to give us a call. We're here to help them. We deal with the government. We deal with Social Security, veterans, everything like that. And that is a big thing in the future. A lot of people are saying, I want my burial a certain way.
Right.
And this helps them. And then also we have people come in and they say, I don't have any children, and I want to be cremated and all this.
Okay.
And what do I do? And we told them about this new program the state has. It's called the Funeral Planner. This document can be filled out by them, notarized and everything. And this person, they make their planner circumvents all family.
Oh, okay.
So their wishes will be carried out.
That's nice.
So there's a lot of things that we're doing, and cremation came along. It's becoming very popular.
I was going to ask you, what's the percentage now? Do you figure?
Close to 50%.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I know Skip and I talked before we went on the air about Sea Isle City, because you and your friend have a beautiful home in Sea Isle City, and I had one, and my aunt and uncle, they were like my second parents. I loved them both immensely, Bill and Alice Felmy, and they were very close with Sea Isle and had a place there for quite a while. And what they wanted to do was be cremated, and they wanted their ashes put out
in the ocean
from Sea Isle. So the fellow, I'm trying to think of the name of the restaurant, but anyway, he had a boat, took us all out, and we were able to, because they were about a year apart, I guess, in the passing, but kept the cremation, the remains, until they were both ready to go. And it was very tearful for me, but it was something I know is what they wanted. It was very special for them, and my cousins and my sister and I, we were all there to honor them for what they wanted to have done, and that's becoming very popular, cremation.
It really is. Yeah. And all it does is just take the place of cemeteries. A lot of people think it's more involved, but you get into the Sea Isle. We had looked in Ocean City, and then we decided, well, there's too many violent people in Ocean City.
I thought there were a lot of violent people in Sea Isle.
It's terrible. We go on the beach, and there's people all over. And of course, we have an opportunity. We met the mayor, Lenny.
Lenny, I love Lenny,
and he's a phenomenal guy.
He? Oh my God, he's going to be freeholder, county commissioner director.
Yeah, and he's on the board. Yeah. He's chairman of the board of the bank and everything.
Yeah, Sea Isle Bank. Yeah,
he is just a fantastic gentleman, and he's been there 25, 30 years as mayor.
He's a super guy.
And the city's having no tax increases.
Well, hey Skip, this is funny. This is great. My dream, and in fact, one of my best friends, her brother is going to become the mayor of Avalon, Johnny Morrow. I always said I was the mayor of Millville, but my dream was to be the mayor of Avalon. You said, why would you want to do that? Because the ratables, folks. My God, Sea Isle has more ratables than the whole county of Cumberland.
Oh, yeah.
Ocean City does.
And Marty Palugi.
Marty. I love Marty.
Avalon and Stone Harbor with the Reed. Oh, my God.
Absolutely. It's phenomenal.
But, and from what I understand from my friends that are on the commissioners now, there's not going to be a rate increase in Cumberland County.
Oh, that's
so that's going to be the first time in about 20 years.
That's
25
great.
years.
Glad to hear that.
And so everything's exciting. We're going to talk now about me running for surrogate.
Yep.
Even though they kept my name out of the paper.
Yeah, I can't believe that. My gosh.
Well, maybe it was good it wasn't mentioned.
We're going to take a break and be talking with Skip about the surrogate's position, and some other famous funeral directors were also surrogate. And we'll do all that right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco-Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco-Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The primary, yeah.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Skip Luisi, the owner of DeMarco-Luisi Funeral Home in Vineland, one of the most beautiful funeral homes in South Jersey, is my guest. And one of the things, Skip, I did read about, and we just were talking during the commercial break, that you actually do pet loss as well.
Yes, we do. In fact, this was introduced to us by one of our directors, Danielle. And what takes place if someone, instead of a veterinarian, when they neutralize the cat or dog and putting it in a freezer and maybe waiting a week or two for somebody to come, when something happens like that, they can bring the cat or dog to us. We contact the crematory, and the crematory that we use gives you two choices. It can be cremated by itself, or it can be cremated with one other animal, and they're in separate boxes. And we get the ashes back right away. We call the family, and we give them the ashes. The only charge is whatever the crematory is. We do everything.
That's really nice
for us, for ourselves, and
that is super.
And so far we hadn't had any problems. But a lady that had a 1,500-pound bull died, and we couldn't touch that. So,
goodness.
But we went out to see it.
Wow.
But it's most they come to us. If they want us to come to the house, we'll come to the house.
Nice.
But it's people are starting to call us. And they come there. Sometimes they even have private viewings with family and friends that come there and see the pet. And like we have Bella, which is our dog.
Right.
I think you have a picture of her here somewheres, and she has been with us for 12 years now. She's a full-blooded Havanese, and it's going to be hard when we lose her. Especially, she's with us all the time.
Yeah.
She's in the office all day long. So anybody wants to come see Bella, she's there. But now you want to talk about politics, right?
Well, before we wrap up with Bella, I just want to say that I probably shed as many tears for my animals as I have for my relatives and friends, because you lose them, and they're part of your family. I mean, right now I live alone, and I have my cat, and I love him. He's just great. It's where you have that opportunity, and I'm sure you have too, many dogs and things that you just love your animals. But yes, now speaking of somebody I'm so excited because Skip is going to be the candidate for the Republican Party for surrogate.
That's correct. Yes. Even though, like we said, the newspaper didn't have my name, they had everybody else's name. But that's okay.
But you're well known.
Well, everybody jumps hurdles, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gets it. Yeah. But no, I'm excited about it. I've been with the funeral industry 55 years, and I talked to my son and my staff, and I told them I want a challenge. I want to do something. And basically it goes back to my mentor, Harry Freitag, who was surrogate.
He was one of my favorite people.
Phenomenal man. Phenomenal man.
He was freeholder when I was freeholder.
That's right.
Back in the early 80s.
And he was surrogate for about 10 years.
Yes.
And he used to come, and when I'd be over his funeral home working and helping out, he would be telling me about, the surrogate's office and what he's doing, and it really clicked with me. So I thought, maybe one day I want to do this. I want to be able to go over and help people, meet people. But what Harry did that no other surrogate did was he opened it up. He was visual. He was out there. You know, he would be in Millville one day at a lawyer's office, or he would be in Violin one day at a lawyer's office. So, you know, this is what I tend to do, is to open it up to the county. You know, go over to Hopewell Township one month, come down to the mall where the county clerk already has her office, and put a desk in there, and open it up to the people so they don't have to drive all the way to Bridgeton.
Yeah.
And if they really need help, we'll come to them at their home.
Oh, that's super.
So this way we can help them, and that's what I feel the surrogate should be: more involved, more personal, be out there. So that's one of the reasons why I'm running.
Well, you got the personality for it.
Yeah.
Well, and seriously, I mean, as I say, honestly, Skip has got a fantastic personality, and that's important for the business you do. That's why people love you, and you love helping people. And I thought about that because as you look back over the period of time, Harry was, and I think Ben Rocap also.
Yeah, Benny Rocap did it.
And he was in Millville, and he was a surrogate. Because you have the compassion, the understanding. I mean, the two major things, tell everybody what the surrogate's office does.
Well, the major thing it does is settle estates and wills.
Right.
It also does adoptions.
Yes.
And also does with people that are going to be taking over for loved ones that have passed away.
I see.
Their children. But most of all, he deals with settling of wills and estates, helping people get short forms, dealing with stocks, bonds, trust funds. So this is, and also I feel funeral directors know best how to talk to people in a time of need.
Yes,
even though I understand that the surrogate right now has tremendous women that work there. They know the job.
Told me that. It's a great staff.
It's a great staff, and they know what they're doing, and that's great for me because when I get in there, I'm going to be a babe in the woods, and it's going to take me time. But I'm just excited about it. And I don't know if I can mention it, but I'm excited about my whole team. I'm excited about Jimmy Sorrow's back involved. You dealt with Jimmy before.
Jimmy and I go way back.
Way back.
Yeah, I tell you, Skip, he and I were on together, and we co-chaired the Public Works Committee. And Skip, I have no ability. If I couldn't talk, I don't know what I'd do. Lucky I can put a light bulb in. I just don't. And Jimmy was so good. And Jimmy and I had a dike problem out in Greenwich, and he went out, and I'm with him, and he's going, Jim, we need this, we need this. I'm going, geez, you know what you're doing, man. So, yeah, he did a great job. And I got some funny stories off the air I can think about. Jimmy and Sue and I, just really good people. In fact, I got to sit with them at Jody Farabella's retirement dinner.
Okay.
It was just so much fun to be with them. And, I think the world of Jimmy and Sue. And Sue, fortunately, does have the job she had before. She's back taking care of the cats program.
Yes.
As well. And she's got a great personality, and it's delightful. And Jimmy is so fun. Much fun to be around. So I'm glad he's one of your candidates.
He cares about Cumberland County. He cares about the people.
And he was freeholder director, too.
Yes, he was. He was there. Yeah. He was that for a couple of years, I think. And then, we have Art Machon Jr., his dad.
I don't know him, but I knew his dad. I liked his dad.
His dad was surrogate
for
his dad was surrogate for a while. Yeah. He comes from that background. He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
We got Sandy Taylor.
The banker. 40 years in banking.
Serious banker.
Yeah, she was my banker with TD Bank. Yep.
Phenomenal woman. Very intelligent. Very intelligent.
And really likes people. Very much too.
She really does. And then we have also running in a surrogate is slips my mind for a second.
For sheriff?
No, sheriff is Mike Donato.
Right.
But I'm trying to think of the other gentleman that's running for surrogate.
You're running for surrogate.
Oh yeah, I mean that's only three. We only have three.
Yeah, three county commissioners you mentioned.
Three county commissioners and Mike Donato, who's running for. Now Mike. I never met Mike before, but he is a super individual.
It's funny. I said this way. And all the people I know, I never, ever met Mike. And then they explained to me the job he had, you wouldn't be meeting him because he was working undercover prosecutor and that type of stuff. So it wasn't somebody that was out, that you would have run into. I hear nice things about him, but I've never had the pleasure of meeting him.
Yeah, he was a lieutenant in the prosecutor's office. Yeah. He's been involved with putting handcuffs on people, and which is a tough job. Anybody that's involved with law enforcement, God bless you.
Well, you bet it is a tough job.
But he is so down to earth, so nice.
Yeah.
He knows a lot of people.
I see a lot of pictures of him with firemen all over.
There's a man that volunteers his time. He
He's
volunteers
Cedarville, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. He volunteers his time for softball. coaching and things.
Yeah.
So, and I think he'd make a great sheriff. I really, really do. He'll make a great sheriff. And it's time. It's time, for changes. We already have four Republicans on the Freeholder Board of Commissioners. But the most important thing is the head of our ticket, and that's Mike Testa.
He is the man.
He's the man. He is in Trenton. He's swinging an axe at a tree that's so big, but he's chopping away at it. And he is so knowledgeable. He just knows everything what's got to be going on.
Well, the only person I like maybe more than Mike is his dad.
Oh
my God, is he not amazing? Well, you see why Mike's so nice.
Yeah, sure.
His father is a wonderful
grew up
man.
with his father.
Just a great attorney.
Great guy.
Really
I remember when
nice
he worked
person.
at the motor vehicle over here inspecting cars in Millville.
Oh, no
Do you
kidding.
remember that?
No.
He used to put the stickers in the car.
I'll be darned. In fact, it was funny. Mike and his wife and Mike's dad and his wife, we were all at the Levoy Theater one Saturday because Mike's 5 or 6 year old was performing, as was my grandson, and it was really neat. We got to say hello and visit with each other, getting ready to watch the kids perform and stuff. But yeah, he's a very, very nice man, and I like Antoine and Simonson too.
Oh, great.
The assembly people.
They're
I've
very
had them on.
Very strong people, very united, and the county's turning. The state's got to turn.
Yeah.
I'm not talking Republican or Democrat. I'm talking attitude. We're changing. We're starting to look realistically at having a balanced budget. We're realistically looking what's best for the people of Cumberland County. I can see it in the guys, these commissioners we have now.
Mm-hmm.
They are dedicated. They're working hard. We sit in meetings and I listen to what their plans are. And Mike Testa, he tells us some of the things that he's trying to do in Trenton. And it takes time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But once it happens, he's like the old Jimmy Cafaro. You remember Jimmy Cafaro?
Yeah, I sure do.
He is loyal, faithful, good to his people.
Yep.
So Mike's a great guy. So it starts at the top of the ticket, and then it works its way all the way down to Luisi.
Well, in my book, you're a pretty darn good guy. So.
But I'm excited about that. And the only time I've ever been involved with politics is when I helped my best friend become mayor of Vineland. That was Tony Campanella.
Was that when you were public safety director?
I got that. Yes, that's when I became that public safety director. I was that. I was on the housing authority. I'm on the zoning board. I did a lot of work in Vineland. But Millville, the people in Millville are so down to earth. I watched them come in that night for Tim Shannon's viewing. Yeah. And they lost a friend.
Yeah, we did.
And even though I thought he was a good mayor.
He was. I was his vice mayor. I had to keep him straight. Now he was good. He really.
And I like
was.
the mayor you have now. She's a lovely lady.
She is. Yes.
I see her now and then on breakfasts on Saturday mornings, and she's trying. And
she's great, good speaker. Really does. She's trying. It's a tough job, but she's doing a good job, and she's a very good representative. She speaks well. In fact, I've had her on the TV. Nick and she have done shows and different people.
Oh yeah, she's trying to build up your industrial park, but Fanucci takes him away.
Yeah, that's
Big
for
Fanucci,
sure.
Who's Anthony and paid for his mother. She just had an operation today.
Yeah,
but Anthony, I can't say enough. He's he is my cousin. So I have to be
now
nice.
I know why I like him so much. 'Cause I like you, and I like him a lot too.
He's done a remarkable job for Vineland.
Yeah, in fact, it's funny, Skip. He was talking about the next election. I said, Anthony, come on, who's going to beat you?
Who's going to run against you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I can't imagine anybody would even try.
Well, if I lose Surrogate, I'll run against him. He'll kill me. No, he's I'm not going to lose, so I have no intentions of losing this.
Stay positive.
And, with friends like you and people that I met over my lifetime,
Skip, that's a good point, too. You're in a business where you're there, you're compassionate, you're caring, and people really like that. And I think that comes back to what you were talking about with Harry Freitag. I got a funny Harry Freitag story to tell you. I'm running for office in 1981, and I got to tell you, even before that, I was in 30s then. In 1975, I said to my friend, Ethan Aronoff, who was a Republican and served on city commission, I said, Ethan, I want to join the Republican Party. He said, Jim, there really isn't any in Millville. I love Jim Hurley. To this day, I love Jim Hurley.
Oh, yeah.
Jim. In fact, I idolized Jim. My life, I taught. After Jim taught, then I taught. Jim did the play-by-play for Millville football. I did the play-by-play for Millville football. Jim started his own public relations agency. I started my own public relations agency. Jim got elected the county freeholder. I did too. But Jim went to the state, and Quinn got blown away. I never got close to the state. But I just thought the world of him. But yeah, and I understood what he meant. They just, at that time, there wasn't the organization. So in 1981, the Democrats asked me to come do an MC job for them at a portable PA. So I did that. And they said, hey, you ever think about running for freeholder? I said, well, I'm not a Democrat. And they said, were you an independent? I said, yeah. They said, would you register as a Democrat? And they told me I could run for a freeholder. I said, yeah, okay. So I didn't realize, this is 1981. The board is 6-1. Guess who the only Republican is on the board? Harry Freitag.
Harry Freitag.
So this was comical, Skip. I'm stupid. I don't know. I'm young. I'm out there campaigning and working hard. And George Gasolini's dad was the only one campaigning with me. Gary Zimmerman and John Bernard were my teammates, but they didn't need to campaign. Everybody knew that. Yep. So I'm out working. And about a week before the election, we have a luncheon. And we're sitting at the luncheon, and Chuck Fisher, the dean of the Democratic Party at the time, is going around the table. Gary Simmons, you're a winner. John Bernard, you're a winner. Bye-bye. Jim Quinn, you can't win. I'm like, oh, my God, I didn't know that. He said, you're not going to be Harry Freitag. Well, anyway, what happened was he did make me a promise, and they didn't live up to it. He said to me, don't worry about it, Jim. You're going to be appointed to John Rose's position because he's going to retire. So, hey, this is great. I can't lose, right? I'm on a school board. I'm telling them I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Then I find out that isn't truly the case. They don't always tell you the truth. So they said, no, you can't have it. I said, you know what? I'm going to run in a primary. And I ran in a primary, and I won. So I was proud of me because I ran in a primary, beat the whole party. And then I became welcome back again.
Sure.
But that's part of this system. And I understood that my running mate didn't want me because we were both from the Millville area, and he would have preferred to have somebody from Vineland.
Sure.
Which makes sense. But speaking of Vineland, my gosh, right now, the county commissioners, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Vineland. The Democrats from Vineland, too. Johnny Cap. Five of the 7 are from Vineland. And I know that they're trying, and to the Republicans' credit, you got Sandy Taylor and you got Marshawn running, so they're from townships, so they're trying to balance it out. From the Democrat side, they've got, 2 Vineland people, Perella and Johnny Capozola, and the other woman is, what's her name?
Was she Millville or Bridgeton?
She's Port Norris. Yeah, Smith is her last name. She's from Port Norris.
I really don't know them. I met Acevedo, the man that's running against me. I met him at the North Italy Club. He came over and introduced himself. I don't know him. I'd never seen him before.
He apparently is a lawyer in Pennsylvania.
Right.
So he said we've dealt in the past, but I don't really remember, at that point in time. But the thing is that people have good people to vote for. And coming back to Ben Rocab and Harry Freitag, excellent. Because you guys have that compassion. Every day you're showing care and compassion for your people that have come to you. They've lost someone, and they need you at that time. And as you're looking at this is every death in the county of Cumberland goes through your office, through the surrogate's office.
Through the surrogate's office.
So, and I like the idea too of, even what you've been able to do with the pets, where, having an opportunity for people to, be able to show love and caring for their animals as they do as well. But it's an interesting election coming up. It's November sometime, I know that.
The primaries in June, and of course, what surprised me, Mike told me, we start the voting in September. That's when the mail-in ballots come out.
Starts coming out as well.
The mail-out ballots and all.
Wow.
So it should be a good election. It should be an interesting one. For me, it's interesting because I'm meeting so many people.
And that's
I'm having
you're
fun with
people
this.
Person,
I like meeting people.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to be going into Bridgeton and all over the townships. So it should be a great election, and but once again, we're out there. The Republicans are there. Come and hear what we have to say.
Yeah. And I see the pictures on Facebook all the time. You guys are all over the place. We'll be back with Skip Luisi, who is the owner of one of the most beautiful funeral homes in South Jersey, the one you see behind us there. And that's at Sherman and Lincoln in Vineland. And we'll be back with Skip to talk more right after these messages.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco-Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco-Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
I'm Brian Lankin, 3rd generation business owner, Al Shoes. Been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off 25 and 10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Vineland, New Jersey is a place rich in innovation and deeply rooted in hometown traditions. The city's agricultural legacy, where brands like Welch's and Progresso originated, lives on today alongside companies producing the critical pharmaceutical packaging we depend on. While Vineland continues to grow, it retains a quality of life enriched by cultural diversity and an abundance of nature's playgrounds to enjoy.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. We have something for everyone at vinelandcity.org.
Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. And Skip just said I look like Lou Magazoo there as well. That's an honor because Lou's like 10 years younger than me.
Lou's a good-looking guy, yeah.
Well, you know what? It's all in the picture taking with TNF camera. They're my buddies.
Oh, yeah. They did our shots for the Housing Authority.
Yeah, they're great guys. They really are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're nice people.
In fact, Bart is on the Cumberland County Library Board.
Oh, okay.
So he accepted a position several years ago. We had an opening and wanted somebody from Vineland to be on there. Well, you know something? I got to tell you a funny story. Do you know Joey Baruffi?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh, very well. Yeah.
Joe's my cousin because he married Harry Curley's daughter, Jill, who's my cousin.
Right.
My grandmother was a Curley, so that's how we're all related. So one day I'm sitting doing an interview, and I'm talking about all these wonderful people, Skip, from the Bune area. You know, just Dennis Carolla, Piastizzi's,
sure.
You know, all the people. And he goes, Jimmy, what do they all have in common? I said, they're all Italian, and I love them. I said, how can you not love an Italian person? Well, you know, there is that warmth that comes. Well, you know that. I mean, growing up that way. My family was cold as ice. The Irish.
Right?
Oh, yeah. My Uncle Bill, who I loved. We don't hug. We just a firm handshake. There's none of this, you know, kind of stuff. So the Irish were not as warm as the Italians.
Well, thank you. I mean, the Italians are warm people.
Yeah,
they can be nasty too, but when they have to be.
Yeah, well, luckily I haven't seen that side of it.
But no, Joe Baruffi's running for mayor out there.
Yeah, isn't that great again? I'm so excited.
And he called me up, and we were supposed to go to a breakfast, so I said, I'll just send you a check.
Yeah.
So he calls me, he said, what are you doing, trying to buy the mayor's office? I said, well, you're a Baruffi. Money, you know.
Well, you know, I will say, when he got out, they did what I wanted him to do, and he didn't do. They got rid of the police department. They turned it over to Franklin Township.
Good move.
That was a good move.
It was the best thing for Newfield, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it was.
The best
thing.
Really
was. And I've had the director on, Doug Albrick, and I like some of the concepts of trying to, because the jail is a big factor
right now.
And Skip, I got to tell you, George Castellini and I were there, and he and I said, look, as far as we're concerned, we need to outsource the jail. The reason was the jail was costing at that time $32 million to operate.
Right.
So we could have outsourced it for 20 and saved $12 million. The other thing you save without the jail is the lawsuits. They are all over the place with a jail when you have a jail.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's another factor that was being saved there. I know I've talked to Nick Aselda. He's got an idea, and I know he's talked to the director about that. But I like the director's idea of looking into Leesburg and where that they're vacating the southern state or one of those. I mean, at least there's some good concepts that are being looked at, other ways to do that. And I know one of the things, even if we outsource the jail, most of the employees would still be able to have jobs with transportation or certain jobs in the facility at that time. I mean, I hate to see people lose jobs, but if you outsourced it to Atlantic County, they would hire a lot of the people because they would need them. Gloucester County in the last 7 years has saved $200 million by outsourcing the jail to Salem.
Yeah. And Salem's economy needs that.
Exactly, Skip. Absolutely.
And I remember Jimmy Sorrow back in the day said, let's put ankle bracelets on some of these guys.
Yeah.
The ones that aren't real criminals.
Right, exactly.
And let them be home and out of there,
Yes. Yeah, good idea.
But no, they are looking around. They're looking at all concepts, Now we're hearing rumors that they might, the feds might want to build another prison down here.
Oh, wow.
And we got enough of them.
Yeah, we sure do.
We got enough.
We're the prison capital of the world, that's for sure.
It's a great job, but I mean, most of the guys that work in the prison don't like it.
No, unfortunately, I just had one of my guys, like a son to me, just retired. He'd worked for me. He retired. Now he's back working part-time for me and stuff like that. But
it's a tough job.
It is.
It's a tough job.
Very difficult. And how about being a police officer?
Oh, police. I was public safety director for 6 years.
Yeah.
And the things I saw, and I was there when the older guys were there, the ones that, they would have a lawsuit behind you in a minute, of what they would do.
Yeah, exactly.
But now you got these young men and women that are trained and highly professional, and if the abuse they take on the street, geez,
I've done ride-alongs with my guys in Millville when I was the mayor. Wow, it's a tough job. It truly is, and it's gotten tougher, And luckily now they have the body cameras and stuff, so they can
protect them.
Because a lot of false accusations would be made. So this way, at least the people can see, what truly happened. But on a positive note, this is great. Now, you guys have a breakfast just about, is it every...
We have one this coming Saturday, yes.
Every other Saturday? Or
every other Saturday at the Greenview.
Uh-huh.
And they call it
the Republican Party.
It's the Republican Party's breakfast, but, if people wanted to come and see what the Republican Party's doing and what it's all about, I don't think Mike Testa would have a hard time with people coming to here. We have, there's been some Democrats that came over and sat in there with us.
One of my very best friends just flipped.
Really? I'm sorry to hear that. No,
just flipped to you.
Flipped to me. No, it's the strangest thing. People are starting to look around and what's going on, and they're, what affects the nation affects the state, affects the county.
Yeah, somebody had told me, I don't know who was it, there were 6,000 people that flipped over.
6,000 Democrats flipped over to be Republicans.
I did hear that just recently, yeah. I'll tell you, the townships do phenomenal for the Republicans. In fact, if you look, folks, in Cumberland County right now, the only mayors that are not Republican, Mike Vizard in Commercial Township, and then Mayor Kelly, and I'm not sure the mayor is at Fairfield Township, they're the three of the 14 municipalities. 11 of the 14 are Republican. And Kenny Wilden, I talked to him, and he and I are good friends. And Kenny told me last year, he said, Jim, I'm flipping. I'm going to become a Republican. I said, well, good for you, because you're going to win. And he did, and he's still the mayor. So it worked out for him.
Come out. And, they reorganized the district. So
yes,
Testa
right.
now has
3, yes.
He doesn't have the townships. He has Bridgeton.
Yeah. Right.
But, the big thing with Mike is Cape May. Cape May County is strong.
So they couldn't even find candidates in Cape May County to run for Assembly or Senate. The 3 are coming from Cumberland County. And, that's says something. And there's no county commissioners in Cape May County whatsoever. And I don't know if there's a mayor in Cape May County that's not a Republican. So Cape May County is very, very heavily Republican.
Like it was back in the day when Cafaro was down there.
Well, you know what, Skip? Think about it. In our lifetime, take Jeff Van Drew out of the picture when he was a Democrat. You'd have never seen a Democrat in there. To his credit, man, that guy is electable. He works hard. He's done very, very well. And as soon as he went and flipped over, it'll stay Republican, in my opinion, for a long, long time, because Cape May County is very solidly Republican. And as you said, 6,000 Cumberland County Democrats have flipped over to the Republican Party. So it sees that, for whatever reason, they're moving in that direction. As a Democrat, I'm sort of sorry to say it, but you know what? It's people's choice, and you've got some good people running with you, that's for sure.
Very strong, which is very smart, very educated people, and and you know what? They're unified. These three commissioners that are running, and the sheriff and we're unified like the tip of a spear.
Yeah.
There's no, the only way we can lose is if we fight amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're very organized, and we're going, and God willing, we all get in.
Yeah, well, it's one of
God
those
willing.
situations. Yeah,
But I just tell people, listen, come out to hear what we have to say.
Yeah,
we're out there to talk to you, and
that's the key.
And we hear a lot of good things from people.
Yeah.
We went to this oyster and ham dinner.
Yeah, in Port Norris.
In Port Norris, that was fun. That was the first time for me.
Have you? Oh yeah,
that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the people, it was a hard time to talk to people because they were eating.
Yeah, they enjoyed those fried oysters and ham.
Man, and the lines.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Look at the backbone of those townships. It's the fire department.
Absolutely.
I mean, Freddie Hunt and his brother are down in Morristown, and all the different fire departments. I know that Mike Donato is very active in Cedarville, and
right.
You just keep seeing those, and they're volunteers. They work and work and work, and are very, very good people.
Well, Freddie Hunt, him and his people built that whole fire hall.
What a beautiful place!
With their own money.
Oh my God, I love the Morristown Fire Hall.
Him and several other people mortgaged their houses.
Wow! Yeah,
and it was the first time I ever met him. I was impressed by him, Fred, and he's a wonderful man.
He is.
And his whole fire department came out. Not the whole fire, but that night we were there. Wonderful people.
Yeah,
wonderful people.
Donnie's his brother too. Yeah, they're really good people, and again, that's a great facility as well.
Beautiful facility, beautiful. And hopefully, Violin will get ours done.
Yeah,
Lou Tramontano's out there trying to get things going and get the new firehouse built, but Vineland's big.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
That's
think about how important Vineland is to the county of Cumberland. Almost half of the ratables for the county come from Vineland.
Oh yeah, paid 49% of the taxes.
And John Ruga is amazing. The trout and
the Trout Ruga thing.
Their golf course has been announced, and Tiger Woods is going to help lay it out.
I admire John Ruga. I mean, John Ruga is a man that if you met him, you would say there's no way.
No, you wouldn't know how successful he is. He's just down to earth.
Nicest Christian person you ever want to meet.
Yeah.
And this one with Trout is the best move I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
What's going to happen in South Jersey when Mike is done with it?
Yeah, you bet.
You're going to have some of the greatest athletes in the world come here because of Mr. Baseball, which is Mike Trout.
Absolutely. No,
he's the Babe Ruth of baseball.
He
right
really
now.
is.
Yes, he is.
You're absolutely
and you can't meet a nicer guy.
No, not at all. In fact, it was funny when I was first elected mayor. Before I decided I wanted to run for city commission in Millville, I talked Jeff into running. And then afterwards, I thought, I always wanted to be the mayor of Millville. So I said, Jeff, I'm going to run too. Jim, you're going to beat me. I said, don't worry about it. We'll be 1 and 2. And we were. I was 1, he was 2, and we had a great time. Boy, there was a situation where we had Jeff and John Hollingshead were 2 Republicans. Darrell, Parent, and I were the 3 Democrats. You'd have never known who were anybody because we were able to just work together.
Hand in hand.
And Chuck Fisher always said this, which was a good thing to say. When you go to a meeting, leave the D and the R in the car and just worry about the people.
Absolutely.
And that's what you do. Well, who was one of my very, very favorite Republicans that I served with? Joe Sparacio.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, I love that guy.
What a gentleman.
What a family. What a great person.
Oh, yeah. Rosename crowd. Oh, yeah.
Skip, all the years.
Did you work with Lori Pizzo?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was in Millville when she was there, but I know Lori very well. But it was funny. All the years I've been in government, and most of them, the last 15, I've been single. So after the meetings, Joey and I would go. We'd go to Town Tavern one meeting. The other meeting we'd come over to Millville to Ricky Abbott's place and have dinner and and socialize and stuff like that. But and I get to meet his family, Anthony, his dad, and his brother, and all of it. It's just wonderful people. Oh, they really are.
I hope the mayor of Violent could teach Pacheco how to play golf.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get him down there with Trout.
We want it, and they're going to have that parade for him.
Yes, they are. Yeah, and it's and I understand a coach and another player coming to be with them.
Andy Reid, that's super.
And
that's
I don't know if it's Andy Reid or a coach or something.
Coaches,
but I don't know for sure because I haven't talked to Sheena or the mayor.
Yeah.
But this kid is very personable.
What a great kid. And I remember when he was playing for Vineland and he beat Millville, I said, he's like a man among boys. He was so good, Pacheco. Just tremendous.
And I hope he keeps that attitude and stays healthy.
Yeah, boy, he could be a superstar. Already he's got a Super Bowl ring his first year in.
Unbelievable. And he scored the first touchdown in the Super Bowl. God bless him. And maybe Mike can talk to him about how
well, they both are classy guys.
But Mike should take him over to his house and say, see what it's like when you're a nice guy?
Yeah, it's true. And you can live in Cumberland County.
Live in Cumberland County like
300
this.
some acres and all that stuff,
God bless him. He earned every dime.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I guess the first time Mike came back to play baseball at Citizens Bank Park, I put together Millville night. And I'll tell you, it was nice. We sold 5,000 tickets for Mike. And the Phillies gave us $8 a ticket, so they gave us $40,000 back for the leave-away of the Millville Development Corporation.
Cool.
And it was just a wonderful experience. And Dan Baker and I become good friends, the PA announcer. And Dan said, other than a Philly returning, he's never had the ovation for a visiting player like they had for Mike Trout that night, which was wonderful. And he'll be in the 28th of August this year, 28th to 29th.
He's coming in there.
Every year now he'll be back. So
he's going pretty soon. He's going to have his retirement game.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's 31, so he's got...
Well, you got to slow down.
Yeah, usually they can go to late 30s, but he runs and...
He's still hitting hard.
He sure is, yeah.
He's still hitting hard and stay healthy. And I mean, God bless him. I think he still deer hunts, but
he
don't
does.
climb a tree, Mike. Stay on the ground.
That's true. Good point. My God, Skip, this hour flew by. You got to promise me to come back again sometime.
I'll come back when it's closer to the election time. And
that's good.
Beg people to vote for me. But no, I want to thank you for the opportunity. You've been a friend.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And thank you, George, for being here tonight. Thank you for helping us. And my friend Dana.
Thank you. Dana reminded us about the animal portion of it, which helped a lot, right, Dana? There we finally get
there he is. There's Bella. There's she Bella. Is, my beautiful little
adorable.
Girl.
She's adorable.
Yes, she is. God bless her. She's 12 years old and still going strong.
Wow, that is a beautiful shot.
Yep.
And we all love our doggies and our kitties as well as everything. But there you see the DeMarco Funeral Home. And again, thank you, Skip, for being one of our key sponsors. Remember, folks, it's because of people like Skip and Bob Connor and the different advertisers that these programs are possible, so that we can bring in people in the community to let you know what they're doing and what's going on. Next week, Skip, on Monday, we'll have Rochelle, Nikki Arms from Rochelle Mall and Nikki Mall from Jim's Lunch. The 100th anniversary is this year.
Man,
100 years.
What a place.
Isn't that something?
Unbelievable, the reputation.
And Mike Trout likes it, too.
Yeah. And Bob Connors, he does all our insurance. Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Yes. And Bob, in fact, Bob's assistant, who I just love, Mike Toscano, will be on next Wednesday night.
Good.
And Mike's going to talk about things that they do and prices they can get you in. And they're servicing all of Cumberland County now, not just Millville. And as you said, you utilize them.
I got a call from Mike the other day saying we're brokering out your funeral home because I think we get a better deal.
Yeah.
And he's right on top of the game. And
boy, I'd say without them, I don't know what I would do, because with a radio station, tower, and property, that's not an easy one to insure. They get it for me. They really work on it for me. And again, there's a guy who gives back to the community all the time, really cares. And in his commercial, you just hear him talking about that. And Blue Wire did his commercial, too.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And when you see these good commercials, they're not from Quinn. They're from Blue Wire. As I say, I'm lucky I can put a light bulb in, let alone. Now, George can do pretty good commercials. But,
good.
Blue Wire's does a great job. Skip, thank you for coming in.
Thank you once again.
Thank
you, my friend.
Take care of yourself. And thanks for the compliment about Lou Magazoo. See, so at least
I'm going to hear it at the CEO meeting Lou's going to go, what? This is Lou.
Well, the governor thought I was Lou, so you're not far off there as well. And Lou's been a good friend of mine for many, many years.
Very nice gentleman.
Thank you all for joining us this evening here on Around South Jersey. My special guest has been Skip Luisi from the DeMarco-Luisi Funeral Home, one of the finest ones in all of South Jersey. Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
See, maybe in November.
This has been a QBC television production in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22 and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.